What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome back to Steelers Almighty. On location today. Told you guys had to come see my mom, check her out. So I am at her house. So just on location today, but never stops. Steelers had practice again today, padded practice. A lot of people were in and out. We'll get into that. Good to see some people here, man. My man Al Lewis is in the house. What's going on, Mr. Al Lewis? Members are starting to show up. Um, Look, we're gonna get into all of this. I know. The rumor mill is going berserk. I promise it's not that complicated. This whole thing about Cam Heyward sitting out, Bosworth is even easier to figure out. But they're not that difficult to figure out. People think that Cam is, oh, well, he just signed a new contract. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. Also, YA Black. I don't even know if it's quietly, people. I think he's having a monster camp, an absolute monster camp. Some people thought that he was going to be a project. And again, we still got to see some game film with him in stadium. But having said all of that, everything that we've seen from camp from him so far has been great. Should be a welcome rotational piece for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. And then the offseason continues, or the offense, I should say, continues to gain ground. Another good day of practice for the offense. Like we talked about, man, just got to keep stacking them up. Just got to keep stacking those good days. The Steelers offense is doing all of that. They are doing that. So Charles Jones says, no more pay raises, please. You got to stop that, Charles. You stop counting other people's money, man. You got to stop counting other people's money. That's not for you to say. No pay raises. What's going on, S. Palmer? We appreciate you, man. What is going on, Mr. Vaughn? So, but yeah, there's a lot that is going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Again, they had a practice. It was almost like the Steelers didn't practice today because while people were covering, were watching, were paying attention, the only thing anybody wanted to talk about was Cam Heyward. Well, we'll get to that. Let's just get to it right now and talk about what's going on with Cam Heyward. So last year, Cam Heyward signed an extension, okay? And everybody, well, he got a new deal. Okay, if that's what you want to call it, fine. He got an extension. And what Cam Heyward did was he didn't get $51 million guaranteed. Cam Heyward was supposed to get $16 million last year before he signed his extension. Non-guaranteed money, but his salary was $16 million. In order for cap space, you know how all that works. The Steelers gave him a raise. Or not a raise, the Steelers guaranteed it. They gave him a new 3-year deal. They made the $16 million guaranteed, and they extended it 2 more years. They gave him 2 more non-guaranteed years. So Cam Heyward didn't get any more money last year. Like he was supposed to get $16 million. He got $16 million. He wasn't asking for, 30, 40, 50. He wasn't asking for that. He got $16 million. And they gave 2 more years on it. There was also an out clause that the Steelers could have gotten out of the deal in 2025 if Cam sucked. But he didn't. He was a first-team All-Pro. So what Cam is saying, look, who knows where I'm going to be in 2026, whether I'm even going to be on the Steelers or not. I got $14 million that's guaranteed to me for a roster bonus in 2026. Give me some of that money now. And that's basically what he's asking for. So that's what I don't know. That's what he's asking for. And is it that big of a deal? Like if he's supposed to get $14 million next year for a roster bonus, if the Steelers split it in half and just say, okay, you can have 7. Okay, so now he gets to $20 million. All right. But to think that Cam Heyward is like the 35th highest defensive tackle. Now, I know there's people out there, well, he signed the contract. Okay, but what if the Steelers cut him? He signed a contract and the Steelers aren't going to give him anything. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. Is that you can't you it just first off, all these people out there bad mouthing Cam, you got to stop. And that count somebody else's pockets. Two, I agree. He wants to make sure that he can get paid as much as he can because he has no more guaranteed money. People do it all the time. If the Steelers decide to get rid of him, he gets nothing. So, okay. So he wants that money. I get it. It doesn't mean that Cam Heyward's going to sit out the season. It just means that he hasn't participated fully in training camp because he's negotiating. Nobody said that Cam Heyward is sitting out the year, sitting out games. He's actually been in practice. He's been in team drills. He's done those things. But he's also being smart. He's like, look, I don't want to get hurt before I can negotiate this thing out. Like Cam Heyward hasn't said, he's not saying that he's sitting out games. He's still working out. So I don't get it. I just don't get that. So it's weird that people are on the side, and I never understand why fans are always on the owner's side. Like you are closer to being an NFL football player than you are an NFL owner. As crazy as that sounds, you're closer to being a football player than you are an owner of a football team. But yet people always take the owner's sides in this. And in this case, I don't even think there's a bad guy. Like the owners, this is not a bad situation. This is just Cam saying, hey, I want to negotiate. I want to try to get some more of this money next year. I want that money now. I don't know if I'm playing football next year. I was a first team all pro. I'm going to be, I think it's like the 38th highest defensive tackle paid in the league. I'd like to get some more of that money. And maybe the Steelers are going to give it to him. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I know the Cam Heyward bashing has to stop. First of all, it's a lot of ill-informed people out there just thinking that, oh, man, well, you got guaranteed this. I'm like, man, he has no guaranteed money left on his contract. The money that he's making this year was from a roster bonus. Okay? That's what it is. Now, are the Steelers going to guarantee that roster bonus to him in 2026? If they're going to guarantee that he's going to get it, then Cam Heyward doesn't have an argument and he won't be saying anything. But the Steelers aren't guaranteeing that. They're not going to guarantee anything even remotely close to that. And they shouldn't. They don't have to guarantee it. Let's see how the season plays out. Is Cam hurt? Does Cam still want to play? We'll figure all that out. That's the negotiating back and forth. But people that just want to bash Cam, I think is nuts. Yes, Arch Baby Doll. Cam is the man. Yes, he is. I think it's crazy how people are just wanting to bash him. Al Lewis says, pay him some money. I think he deserves it. Pay Boswell too. We'll get to Boswell here in a second. But yeah, that's the whole thing. There's so much misinformation that people are throwing out about Cam Heyward. I'm just like, all he's asking for is some more guaranteed dollars. That's it. He didn't say, I got to be the highest paid defensive tackle. He's not saying, I got to reset the market. He didn't say anything. He's just saying, I want more of this guaranteed money because you're not guaranteeing it to me right now. Okay. Will you do that? So, and I think part of it is, and you can say this, Cam didn't necessarily bet on himself either because he took the $16 million in guaranteed. He could have gotten more back end guaranteed for the next year, but Cam didn't do that. He didn't bet on himself. And the next thing you know, Cam's a first team all pro. Well, then it's like, well, hold on a second. First team all pro defensive tackles don't make $13 million. So even if he's 36 years old, it doesn't, hey, I'm a first team all pro. I don't care if I'm 136. They don't make $13 million. And that's the difference. And he wants that money. So, My man Charles Jones says, considering he was all professionals, okay, yeah, he was all pro. So, Arts Baby Doll, some people are so full of crap that the toilets are jealous. I get it. I get it. So, Steve Pickering says, how many playoff wins Cam got? How many do you have, Steve? Is that what we're talking about? Or now we don't pay him because we're blaming all the playoff losses on Cam Heyward. Jesus, my goodness. I want Steve. I know you get so mad. I'm like, are you sure you root for the Steelers? Are you positive? Never seen you have a positive comment about the Steelers. Not one. Not one in the 16 months that we've had this channel. You haven't had anything positive to say. It's crazy. And there had to be a positive moment in there somewhere. Somewhere, my brother. But I get you. I get you. So, OJ Simpson said Cam needs to understand 36-year-olds don't get big guaranteed coin. It's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true at all. So, but man, are we saying that we don't? I mean, is that the consensus? Don't pay Cam Heyward? Is that what we're saying? Because here's the thing. The Steelers aren't paying a quarterback. The money is just sitting there. I mean, the Steelers have plenty of money. So it's not like they're hurt for cap space. They're not signing anybody. So do we want the money to just sit there? Or should we give it to Cam? I guess that's my question. Would you rather just have the money just sit there and the Rooneys keep it? Or would you rather have Cam Heyward have it? And again, I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just asking questions on what people would rather have. It sounds like people would rather have the Rooneys keep the money versus give it. Because again, the Steelers are not they're not signing somebody, giving somebody $7, $8, $9 million this year. So that would be all you would have, extra money you'd have to give Cam Heyward. So they're not doing that. So what are we talking about? So I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. The only thing I would say is Cam just didn't bet on himself. So he didn't bet on himself, and maybe it's coming back to bite him. I don't know. Steelers Australia said fans act like it's their money and they're the owner. Exactly. They exactly. And again, it's not like the Steelers don't have, like, it'd be one thing if the Steelers were cash strapped and they were up against the cap and then Cam's doing this and be like, hey, bro, look, we don't have the money to pay you. And not to mention, we're trying to go pay somebody else $7, $8, $10 million. We can't do it. Steelers aren't doing that. Like, the Steelers aren't going out and getting somebody for $7, $8 million. Like, they're not doing that. So what are we doing? It's weird. It's weird. So I don't know. I get it, but I get both sides actually. But like I said, I don't think there's a bad guy in this situation. So like the team isn't wrong for trying to strong arm Cam, and Cam isn't wrong for trying to strong arm the team. Like I don't think there's a bad guy in this situation. And it seems like people are trying to strong arm and make him the bad guy. And I don't think he needs to be. That's my point. I don't think he needs to be. So I don't think he needs to be. OJ said it's simple analysis. A 36-year-old, regardless of performance, is much more likely for injury or play decline. So, but if his play doesn't decline, that's okay. You just keep underpaying him no matter what. I don't think that's the way it works either. You just don't keep underpaying people. That doesn't usually work. So, but we'll see. At least Steve is consistent. No, you're right about that, Felicia. He is consistent, man. 16 months that Steelers Almighty's been open. He's never said anything good about the Steelers. Not one time. Not once. But I get it, man. I appreciate it. So if Cam doesn't get I'm assuming you're saying, Sam Steelman Jackson, that if Cam doesn't get what he wants, will he request a trade? No, he's not going to request a trade. I mean, he's not going to request a trade. That's not what this was about. It's just trying to get more guaranteed money, not requesting a trade. That's all. So Justin Watson, my main man, says without Cam and Boz, that was probably a 7-win team last year at best. I think they can and should take care of them. I don't even think it's a question on whether they should. Again, it's simple. All you have to do, Cam gets a roster bonus in March of 14 point something million dollars. Take half of it, guarantee it this year, give the man the money, move on. That isn't that difficult. Now, the Steelers are strong arming. They're negotiating because maybe Cam didn't ask for it. Maybe Cam asked for all of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he said, no, I want all that money right now. And the Steelers like, hold on a damn second. Which I agree. It's a negotiation. But again, it's not like Cam. First of all, was Cam Heyward causing problems at camp? Was Cam Heyward a distraction? Was he doing anything until this came out today? All we thought was Cam was just taking bet days because we don't need a 36-year-old defensive tackle that's a first-team All-Pro out there in the dog days of August in training camp. Nobody knew anything. So it's not like he was causing a problem. He wasn't. He wasn't at all. But now all of a sudden this comes out. Now all of a sudden Cam's the bad guy. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I don't even agree a little bit with that. So that's not underpay if he signed on the dotted line. Steelman with the super chat. You're serious with that? That's a serious comment? So if he signed a contract and regardless, and if he outperforms the contract, it's not underpay? Come on, man. Come on. And what if he signed the contract and Cam, I don't know, let's just say Cam played the whole season last year and he had 3 tackles, no sacks, he did nothing. Got replaced in the starting lineup. Would he have been overpaid? And I'm just asking questions. Let's just say Cam got replaced in the starting lineup last year because he sucked. And he got $16 million last year. Would we be saying he got overpaid? Because remember, he signed on the dotted line. You got to stop. You got to stop. You got to stop. It's craziness. It's craziness. Jeez. So, but it is what it is. Bosworth, on the other hand, Bosworth looking to get paid. Bosworth is saying is that basically what Bosworth is saying is like, look, I was a first-team All-Pro. I think he was last in AFC North as far as last year, as far as kicker pay. I think he was 11th in the league. And he's looking for more. He's like, look, and I don't think he's trying to reset the market, but I think we all know how good Bosworth is. And as Justin Watson mentioned before, how important was Bosworth to the Steelers last year? Like, do we beat the Ravens in the first time we played them without Bosworth? Hell, do we even beat the Falcons? I mean, how many games did he kick 100 field goals that we won? I'm just saying. It matters. It matters. So, oh well. Emery says, Steeler fans never know what they want. For years, everyone's been saying we're in this position now because we held on to aging players too long. But as soon as a player y'all want more money, y'all forget that. So the Steelers should cut Cam? Is that what we should do? I mean, because I don't think anybody's talking about cutting Cam, just paying Cam. So that doesn't even make sense, but I get it. For all Cam has done, he deserves our Steelers' respect. Fans be ins and out. Yeah, they do. They do. They absolutely do. So, but yeah, I think both. Boz, I mean, I mean, he's the best kicker in the league. Now, it's not as egregious as far as what he's getting paid. I think he's the 8th highest paid kicker in the league. He's got 2 years left on his deal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, I've never heard of a kicker holding out before. Have you? So I don't think a kicker's going to hold out, but we'll see. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I don't know. I like Boz. I like what Boz, I mean, he's the best kicker in the league. Just flat out, he's the best kicker in the league. And he proved that last year. I think he was the best kicker in the year before, but I think the difference is that because Justin Tucker was still around, everybody was saying, he was getting this pub based on reputation. I think Boz was better than him in 2023. So, but that's just me. That's just me. I think you pay him. So I think you pay him and you move on. I think you pay him and you move on. Wes says it. Boswell's legit. So Kennedy Jones says Cam got a full year pay when he missed half the season with a groin. I don't recall him giving back half of that money. So that's what we're doing. So if a guy gets hurt, you're saying that you should only get paid when you play. I mean, if that's what we're saying, you only get paid when you play. If you get hurt, you should have to give the money back. In one of the most violent things that people are going to do, you don't have guaranteed money past 2 years of a contract. So if you get hurt doing this violent game, you should have to give the money back. Kennedy, come on, man. You got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. So that's a bad comment, and I think you know that. So I think that's a bad comment, and I think you know that. So Emery says, who said anything about cutting anyone? My point was he's old. He's old, and we just gave him money. They didn't just give him money. They didn't give him money. See, that's probably where you just don't understand the situation. Cam was he was going to get paid last year $16 million before this extension. He got paid $16 million last year. They didn't give him any money. I don't even know that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. People don't understand the situation. They didn't give him any money. His salary was $16 million for 2024. The Steelers added 2 years of non-guaranteed money and guaranteed his 2024 salary. That's all they did. They didn't give him more money. And he was a first-team All-Pro last year. Cam's not retiring. You don't think somebody out there would have signed Cam Heyward to a deal? Stop it, people. We got to stop. We got to stop. I don't care if he was 150 years old. Somebody was going to pay Cam Heyward big money. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. So we got to stop. So Aubrey's the best kicker in the league. Check the stats and the film. Now I'll just check who the first team All-Pro was. Daniel. That's all. I'll just go by the first team All-Pro. Other than that, I'll live with that. But it is what it is. I like Boz. I think you keep them. They deserve their money. I mean, deserve is tricky. Maybe earned is a better thing because it's tough for me to say somebody deserves money. Maybe they've earned the money. That's a better word for me versus deserves because I'm not sure anybody deserves anything, but you can earn a lot. So that would be my point. That would be what I think. So I'm not sure what network is broadcasting the game. I think NFL Network. That's where I'm going to have to watch it, on NFL Network. So that's where I'm going to get it. So, but we'll see. Moving on, man. Moving on. YA Black is having a crazy camp, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy camp. A lot of people thought he was a project coming into this thing. Um, just a lot of people thought that YA Black was kind of a project. And I think that people get the label of a project because they're not this outstanding pass rusher from the D tackle position. Sometimes your job is to occupy two blockers and just not get moved. Sometimes your job is just to be a run stuffer. That's what he did at Iowa. And during camp so far, that's what he's been doing for the Steelers. Now, we got to see it in stadium, but he's been a monster. They can't move him. They literally can't move him. And for me, that was what we have been looking for. You know, a younger, more athletic guy up front, not to mention how many passes has he knocked down in camp so far? I think they charted it. I think they said it was 8. He's knocked down 8 passes in camp so far. Again, not the best pass rusher. But what do they always tell a D lineman? If you're not going to get there, get your hands up. As somebody that's been coached well to do that. So give the coaches at Iowa credit. I do. And I don't know. OJ Simpson, why Cam and Boz bringing this up now? I don't think they did bring it up now. I think it's got leaked out. I don't either his agent, which I don't know why his agent would leak it out. That doesn't make sense to me. Neither of his, I think this is the Steelers doing. I think the Steelers did it. But yeah, I don't think they brought it up now. At least I would hope, because that would be stupid. At least in my opinion. YA may challenge one of those starting positions. Thanks for the super chat, Mason. I don't know. I mean, who's he going to challenge? And I mean, I know on the depth chart it says that he's a nose tackle, but he hasn't really played there much in camp. We'll see on Saturday. We'll see on Saturday what he does. You know, is he going to be more of a nose tackle or a defensive end? 3-4 defensive end. Hopefully, I would guess he would be more of a nose tackle, but we'll see. We will absolutely see. So, yes, he is a huge dude, Arts Baby Doll. He is a huge dude. They needed it. They needed a big athletic guy. A big athletic guy. So, Charles Jones with the super chat said, YA will push Benton. If that's the position that he's going to play in, I think he can. I mean, Keanu Benton's kind of been the forgotten man in training camp. If you notice, like, nobody's really said, now he was out a few days, but they haven't said a ton about him. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, there's some veterans that are going to be out of the preseason game. You know, I got that list here. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu, Isaac Seumalo, Cam, of course, TJ Watt, Herbig, Patrick Queen, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, Chris Boswell. Then for injury, Will Howard, Calvin Austin, Alex Highsmith, Corey Trice, Dante Kent. So quite a few people are not playing in this game. You know who is playing? Keanu Benton. You know who also is playing? The offensive line minus Isaac Seumalo, which is what I said was going to happen yesterday. I said, don't be surprised if the entire offensive line, besides Isaac, plays in this first preseason game. And that's exactly what's going to happen now. They're probably not going to play long. They won't play long, but they're going to play. So they're going to play. And that's, I think it's, they get the work in. Get the work in. You know, I'm excited. Offense, again, had another good day. Another good day. Now, again, everybody wasn't out there, but starting corners, Darius Slay and Joey Porter Jr. were out there today. They were back at it, out there practicing. And wide receivers look good again. They look good again. Team drill, look good. 7 shots, look good. The offense is starting to catch a little bit of a rhythm. So that's a good thing. We needed it because they didn't look good, the first week and a half of practice. They didn't look good at all. But now things are starting to round into shape, and I appreciate it. So Kent got hurt. The one thing about Dante Kent is that he's not in the walking boot anymore. So that's a good thing. But he had been in a walking boot for the better part of 5 days. So yesterday he came out of the walking boot, or today he came out of it, excuse me. So that's good to see. That is good to see. So, but the offense is starting to kick it in gear. But again, let's see what a lot of this stuff looks like in stadium, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be real interested to see. So, Big B, do you think Warren will get 1,000 yards? I don't know, man. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's not that I'm rooting against him to get 1,000 yards. I'm not sure he'll get the carries to get it. But I want to see the Steelers run for 2,400 yards. That's what I want to see. However they get there, I don't know. That's going to be tough. But that's what I would like to see. Let us get the 2,400 yards rushing and then go from there. And we can figure out the rest. So, Wisconsin Cheese with the super chat said, I heard Sebastian Castro's been doing okay. Can't wait. We'll see what he's got. He's had a few moments. He's had a few moments in training camp. Let's get him in state. I mean, coverage was always the issue. So let's get him in stadium and see what he. But I'm excited. I'm excited about the game. I'm excited to see what the. Basically, I want to see what these 2 tackles look like. 2 tackles, Broderick and Troy. I want to see Rosen. I want to see Derek Harmon. I want to see Caleb Johnson. And I want to see Jack Sawyer. Those are the people that I want to see. And then if you want to throw in some honorable mentions, I want to see Rock Taylor. I want to see what he's got. But some of the guys I want to see are hurt and not playing. So that makes it tricky. But that's where I'm at with it. So, and give me YEA Black as well. Give me YEA Black as honorable mention as well. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Torsha, the question here says, do you think rushing Heyward back with a broken bone in his throwing hand is a bad idea? I know it could be his only shot, but it's also not putting Heyward in a position to succeed. I would say if he can grip a ball and throw it, get out there. If he can't, then no. That's kind of the way I would look at it. If he's capable of throwing the football and just having to fight through some pain, but he can still throw it effectively and grip it effectively, then I say go ahead and go out there. But if those are compromised, which it sounds like it's compromised, then no. And it sucks because, like I said yesterday, this is his chance to show that he can play. And I don't know. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Christopher, and first of all, I've told you, man, don't apologize for being late. And no, we didn't address the Steelers signing offensive tackle. They did. Andrus Peat. They signed somebody, and Logan Woodside, backup quarterback, but he's a camp body. But Andrus Peat, I think, has an opportunity to make the Steelers team. I think he does. Sounds like Calvin Anderson might be out for a while. But Andrus Peat, first of all, he's pretty versatile. He's got over like 1,800 snaps at left tackle in his career. He's 31. But again, we don't need him to be the starter. We need him to be the backup. Now we got one. So I think it's a good signing. We talked about O-line depth. Here's a guy that's been a Pro Bowler, previously, a ton of experience at left guard, a ton of experience at left tackle. Great. And he played last year, by the way. He played 15 games last year. So it's not like this is a guy that hadn't played in 2 or 3 years, or only played in 2 games last year. He played 15 games last season. So I think it's a good signing. I think it's a good signing. Oh, no, we appreciate that, S. Palmer. Thank you very much, man. We absolutely appreciate you. B, after seeing what the guys can do the last few weeks, how many wins do you predict this season? You know, I'm not going to back off. I mean, we'll have our prediction where we predict the schedule, but I still think, I mean, we got to get to the season first, healthy. And if we can get there, you know, I still think until the Steelers don't have a losing season under Mike Tomlin, I'm never going to bet against that. So 9 wins, even though that's not what I want, I'm not going to be satisfied with 9 wins. I'll tell you that right now. I could care less about a winning season, but I'm just not going to bet against it. But they can win 11 or 12. I think they can win that many games. I think they can. I think they can. But we'll see. We will see, man. So, all right, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. That's all I got for you today. The game will be live streaming. I'm pretty sure we're going to be live streaming the game on Saturday, man. So make sure you guys show up. We'll be right here talking to you guys as the game's going on. Make sure you guys pull it up on your TV. We'll be doing this live right here like we're doing right now, talking to each other about the game, about the plays in and out. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you soon. And aloha.